Welcome back, everybody, to the Hurt Sportsbook. The new and improved Hurt Sportsbook. We're going with a little bit of a new structure here. Try to just condense it a little more, make it a lot more easier to digest, and really give you guys and let you guys in on what we really are, what really stands out to us, and what essentially, what's gonna probably the best bets and plays for DFS that's gonna help you make the most money that you can, of course, and for this current particular, I'd say it's probably a little more top heavy, I guess, than some of these other fight nights and just cards in general that we get. Obviously, with this heavyweight co-main event between Alexander Volkov. I say co-main. Main event between
the co-main event honestly would be a good main event.
Yeah,
but
right.
We'll get to that.
Between Jairzinho Rozenstruik and Alexander Volkov, and then the actual co-main event between Movsar Evloev taking on Dan Ige. So, without further ado, we can really just jump right into it. Like you said, we're really going to be honing in on this main event and this co-main, and then after that, we're essentially just going to hit on what the rest of the card, some spots that really stand out to us, and then give you our underdog and our lock of the night. And then that'll essentially be it. But obviously starting up top with the only 5-round fight of the card, the heavyweight main event between Rozenstruik and Alexander Volkov. We say it all the time. Like when you get, especially a heavyweight bout that's 5 rounds. When you get those, you just get you in some sort of capacity. You make sure that at least for DFS, you're getting exposed to it. You have. If you're playing multiple lineups, for this fight in particular, it's definitely worth getting to both these guys in some capacity, no matter how you think the result might go. But because this one in particular, we were kind of talking about it before we started recording, there's a lot of paths for how this fight can go. Honestly, in the sense that if it's going the whole way, whole 5 rounds, I think it's going to favor Alexander Volkov, and then essentially if it doesn't, then that probably would mean Jairzinho Rozenstruik knocked out Alexander Volkov. But
it's a fair basic assessment of it.
that's kind of like the baseline essentially. But really anything can happen here, I guess. In my sense, I just feel like, Alexander Volkov is just someone that just works the outside just so well. Just, keeping moving around, keeping out of his opponent's range and whatnot, which obviously a guy like Jairzinho Rozenstruik, that's, pretty essential to have with that. All it takes is that one shot for Rozenstruik, and that's really it.
The smaller cage, too, that's important.
Yeah, for sure.
There's definitely pros and cons for both sides, but the small cage is definitely one of the pros for Rozenstruik. But, like you just said, too, there's multiple ways that, they could win. I think, Rozenstruik, his best bet is to probably stifle Volkov's movement by maybe kicking his legs a little bit so he can't pressure him as hard, or he has a reason not to pressure him as hard. But the thing is, it kind of almost reminds me of this fight. It reminds me of the Derek Lewis fight with Volkov, because it's a very similar matchup, except I think Rozenstruik is a lot more tentative than Derek Lewis. But the thing is, he has 2 extra rounds too. I keep flip-flopping in my head, but in reality, I say to myself, like you just said, if it goes anything under the distance, I think that means that Rozenstruik is going to win by knockout. But, I don't know why. I'm just not confident that he can do it, even with the small cage. I just think when he gets walked down by Volkov in there, it doesn't matter how big the cage is, it's going to feel smaller to him, and he's going to be swinging, for overhand. The overhand right, that's going to be big, kind of like what Derek Lewis hit him with, but
yeah,
he's going to be throwing those overhand rights, and he's going to be trying to throw check hooks. But the thing is, Volkov is so much longer. I think that he's not going to land a lot of those, and I think that over the fight, I think Volkov is just going to look better and better, personally. But the thing is, too, Volkov sometimes has shown cardio issues, and for someone who doesn't throw, Rozenstruik probably doesn't really have those.
I think just the further and further he gets into his career, obviously the older and older he gets, that cardio is just, it's going to dwindle more and more and more.
He's in a good division for it, though. At heavyweight, you don't even have to be that. There's a lot of 40-plus heavyweights that have had success. Look at DC, for example. One of the GOAT heavyweights, dude. He was in his 40s pretty much that whole time.
But I mean, it was interesting that like obviously Alexander Volkov he lost his last fight by via submission. I feel like I don't think like I feel he can if he can keep like obviously you said before he can walk Jairzinho Rozenstruik down or like just use that and keep Jairzinho Rozenstruik honest. Maybe shoot for some takedowns and work the ground a little bit. Maybe get some control time down there because I mean like I don't think either of these guys get a submission finish. That's for one, but I mean, like essentially if this fight gets to the ground, like I find it really hard to believe that it's gonna favor Rozenstruik. Like that's really, I don't think it's really all that fair to like give Rozenstruik's like only chance to win just by like knocking Volkov out. Like I mean,
I think like if he can't get those leg kicks, it's gonna be a hard fight. But like if he can get the leg kicks, that's what's gonna open up those bigger shots. And I think actually one underrated part of his game is his like control up against the fence. And I think like considering how Volkov is a lot taller, he's going to probably have really good head position. He's going to have like a good base like to keep him up against the cage if he chooses to do that, which obviously would stifle any pressuring that Volkov is going to try and do. That's why I'm so conflicted on it because like even like the stats too, like I've been seeing like they even lean towards Rozenstruik, and that's why I don't know why I'm not confident that he could do it. But it's like the stats, like if you look at Volkov or Rozenstruik versus like strikers, he's basically undefeated. Like he doesn't lose to strikers. The thing is with Volkov though, he doesn't lose to anybody that's under like the elite of the elite, which is crazy to me. So that's why it's like we were kind of saying this before the pod, but like your point was that it almost matters more for the loser than it does for the winner because both these guys are coming off losses. So it's not going to catapult them and right into the title picture. No. So like for the loser though, that's going to make them into like the heavyweight gatekeeper officially pretty much.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. I mean, in terms of betting numbers and price tags and all that, you got Volkov, who's a whole $1,000 more than Rozenstruik as the favorite, who's really not even, a crushingly, like, huge favorite either. He's minus 155, and, like, FanDuel doesn't have their contests up for DFS, so we're just going to go with the DraftKings odds here, DraftKings price tags, and then the odds as well.
FanDuel forgot there was a card this week. They were like, another fight now? No.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, probably. Also, like, we're recording this a day earlier than we usual, so, I mean, that probably might just be what it is, but, yeah, I mean, Volkov's just, he's a minus 155, Rozenstruik is plus 135 underdog, in which, I mean, that, I think, that's what I mean, like, I think it's really, like, worth, like, obviously, like, there can only be one winner, like, more than likely, there's gonna be one winner,
so, draw or some crazy shit,
exactly,
like, God only knows.
Yeah, so, obviously, you want to favor one guy more than the other, but, like, in terms of, like, hedging bets and all of that, and then lineups as well, like, I mean, fight stacking, like, we've talked about it before, like, not the most, like, logical or, best approach to making a lineup, but, I mean, like, because especially this, like, it's more than likely not going to be fireworks for 5 straight rounds if it goes 5 rounds, in which case it's probably going to be favoring Volkov, and, I mean, just that the $1,000 more on DraftKings, just like the straight, just sheer, knockout, potential for Rozenstruik at only 7,600, and then even just like his money line odds as the underdog, like that's like you get that at plus money and whatnot. It's worth taking that gamble on, and then even his knockout prop, he's a plus 200. Volkov being a plus 300 to win by knockout. And then the decision odds, like DraftKings is the same way. Plus 150 for Volkov to win by decision, and then Rozenstruik is just a plus 750. So, it's just it's a good fight to just hedge bets on. Like make sure one way goes, if it goes one way or the other, like that you can benefit from it in some way, shape, or form. Because we just talked about it. Like there are a few avenues for how this fight can go. But
I think in terms of just the fight too, like just from a spectator standpoint, like I think this one might not be like the craziest war that we've ever seen in there, but I think that it'll be an interesting like technical matchup, and I'm personally really intrigued to see whose style is going to win out here, because there's just so many things that could happen. Like we just laid out pretty much every option.
Because I look at Volkov's price tag and it tells me like obviously DraftKings thinks he's gonna win. Not only they think he's gonna win, but they think he's just gonna just walk Rozenstruik down for. I mean, whether or not all 5 rounds, but they're this is telling me that they're not giving Jairzinho Rozenstruik much of a chance here, other than just the potential one shot, one knockout power. Which, I mean, once again, I don't think is all that fair, especially, he's still, once again, he's only a plus 135 underdog, Volkov is not some crazy favorite.
And he's also a very good striker. He's a technical kickboxer.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's why, for me, that's the deal breaker. That's why I think that it's going to mess with him, though, because those kickboxers that are going to be really technical, like I said, they're not really overexerting themselves. And I think the way that he could win this fight is if he tries to make it into a slugfest. But I just can't see him doing that.
No.
And because Derek Lewis, the reason why it reminds me of the Derek Lewis fight is because they have very similar strengths. But the thing with Derek Lewis is that Derek Lewis is very aggressive. He may wait, but when he's gonna come forward, he's coming. He's in your face, and you got to deal with it. Rozenstruik, he's trying to land that one shot and get out of the way. That's what I think is going to negatively affect him in this fight, because I think he's going to try and do that, and Volkov isn't going to be in his range.
That's the thing. I just think Volkov, he just does such a good job of just controlling. And then I mean, you did mention the smaller cage, which definitely matters a lot here.
It does, but
certainly, but
not enough for me.
I think Volkov's just elusiveness and his ability to work the outside and whatnot. I don't think. He might welcome, he'll probably will welcome in, a shot or two from Rozenstruik, and then, whatever, either Rozenstruik, he's going to land it or he's not. But, no, I think Volkov, I do like Volkov here as the favorite. It's just the price difference on DraftKings is a little questionable, and then, certainly,
I think it should be a little closer.
Once again,
I agree with that.
Yeah, you're playing one lineup, then, make sure you make sure one of these guys is in there. You play multiple, then obviously favor one guy over the other, but definitely want to hedge this fight for sure for your lineups and just your betting slips.
I was looking at the co-main; those numbers, in terms of their prices, are pretty spread apart. What do you think about getting into that?
But this, we have a clear huge favorite and a clear huge underdog here in our co-main between Movsar Evloev, the minus 410 favorite, taking on the plus 310 underdog Dan Ige. And I mean, just
a guy's good when they're making Danny Ige that much of an underdog, because the way Danny Ige fights, you can't ever really count him out.
Exactly, and it's kind of just saying Evloev, he's not what this honestly tells me is that Mozart Evloev, he's just not gonna allow himself to get hit significantly. He's not gonna leave his chin open for Danny Ige to take advantage of and weaken or just even get that knockout or something like that. This is a guy that he works just every round of the fight just super well. He moves. He's productive in there, and it gets result. He's undefeated to this point, 15-0.
His ground game is unbelievable.
His last 5 fights have all been decision victories. I mean,
these aren't boring. There's some wrestlers who just stay on to he's actively hunting for submissions. He's good on the ground. I want to stress that to people, because he's not going to be the guy who's going to talk shit. He's not and I feel because of that, he doesn't probably get promoted in the way that he should. Because the fact that this guy's undefeated and he's only getting the co-main event now after all the success that he's already had in the UFC, he's honestly phenomenal to me. I think that we're going to be hearing about him for quite a bit, because I think this is his first big fight, and I think that if he gets past this test, I'm really on the hype train to say that he's the real deal. But honestly, I'm already there, because I forget which fight it was, but he just kept taking the guy's back and kept when it wasn't ground and pound, he was going for the choke. When it wasn't the choke, he was going for the ground and pound. Like, the guy just had no chances to breathe. And I think that if he gets Dan Ige to the ground, it's going to be much of the same.
So is it more like if he gets Dan Ige to the ground or when he gets Dan Ige to the ground?
That's where I'm interested, but I'd say I'm not at a when. Like, let's put it like this, like if I'm going percentages and if is 50% and when is 100%, I'd go like 75. Like, I'm in the middle, because I think that like there's a good chance, but I'm not willing to say yet that like, you know, it's inevitable. But honestly, like, you know, honestly, like, I'm swaying myself right now. Like, I still I think that it's a very good chance that he gets Dan Ige down and makes this look fairly easy.
It's just difficult for them because, like, I just, even, like, on the feet, like, I don't, like, I pretty much said it, like, I would, like, Volkov, he's just not going to allow himself to get hit. Like, he's going to, you know, I don't think Danny is going to catch the chin or something like that, and, like, you know, even, like, a knockdown or something, you know, drastic like that. Just
thing is too, I think even if he knocks him down, if he goes right on top of him, which I think Dan would do, I think Movsar is gonna like either probably sweep him or throw up a submission, get back up and take him down. Like, I just think his ground game is way too good. Like, and I think that there's almost no chance that Dan Ige
he's just a super like just smart fighter. I think he is in there, and like. Yeah, I mean it's indicative in the odds, the price tag, $9,400. You're gonna have to pay to get Volkov in your lineup.
Can't wait though. I can't wait for this fight because it's such a good one. Because Dan Ige, like I said, like he's just even like when he loses, he's always going down swinging. So like it's gonna be a good fight. That one is gonna be a great one for sure. No doubt about it. No matter what happens, whether it's a domination or a war, I think it'll be a good one.
Yeah, relatively easy co-main to break down. Taking us to a few other spots and things that stand out in terms of price tags and odds here. I'm going to start with the curtain jerker. Featuring New Jersey native and Silver Fox.
Sorry, I never thought I'd hear you say that word in a serious sense. Curtain jerker. All right.
Yeah, dude.
I don't know why it just got me there, but you were getting into something good though. So I'm gonna let you keep going.
She is indeed in the curtain jerker of this card. New Jersey native and Silver Fox Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Aaron Blanchfield, a minus 490 favorite taking on JJ Aldrich, who's the plus 360 underdog. And I mean, just I'm personally a big fan. I mean, we're not even gonna bias. Obviously, any sort of bias or whatnot aside, like I think Aaron Blanchfield just looks great here. I mean, Soto obviously like she's super expensive, and then you see in the odds as well. Like, she's expected to just dominate, and it's worth getting to, honestly. Even at this price tag,
outstanding.
She
outstanding
is, man.
Fighter. No, then that's like it sounds biased because we do like Silver Fox and stuff, but it's really like, not like this girl is phenomenal.
The fact that like it genuinely is worth talking to is like really cool. So like like definitely we want to shed a light on it here. I mean, in terms of I'm gonna look at some props and whatnot because like she's just expected the books are she's a favorite everywhere, like she's minus 165 to win by decision. Just like in terms of like you're gonna pay the price tag obviously to get her, but it really could pay off. And then I don't think a lot of people go there either in terms of like ownership percentages and whatnot, like because I just don't think like still her name is really all that known yet. And
who knows? I would say that she could be priced $100K. She will deliver. Like she's gonna give you her stats.
Like definitely wanted to give her shot and shed a light on that. Of course, she's representing, so definitely gotta
for sure
give her the shout. Another spot I honestly found an interest in here. This is actually the first of two that one I feel supremely more confident in than this one, but this one I still feel pretty good about in terms of like it's just worth getting to in your lineup, and just a good bet, honestly too. Like I think I would want to sprinkle a few bucks on. That's gonna be Jeff Molina to win by knockout against Zales Zumagulov. He's plus 400 to do that. His money line odds, he's the minus 180 favorite here. I honestly
I see that.
I see it too. I mean, I would think he would have to get it done early. The farther the fight goes, I just think it'll probably, I won't necessarily say favor Zumagulov, but I just think the chance for a knockout
power goes away.
Yeah, exactly. The farther the fight goes, but I really do think he gets it. There's another 9K fighter here. Like I'll say, like, in terms of price tags and whatnot.
There's a lot of like some like good favorites. What out of curiosity, I don't know if you were gonna end up bringing him up, but I keep thinking about him. But Damon Jackson, what's his price at?
Damon Jackson, first of all, is it's honestly not even close.
Huge favorite.
He's a massive favorite. It's really not even close.
And he's fighting he's fighting Dan Argueta, right?
He's 95. He's 9,500. So he's not even the most expensive fighter on the card.
Can you tell me what weight class this is into, please, just real quick?
If I can find out. I mean, I don't think DraftKings brings it up here. It's in featherweight, actually.
Okay, it is featherweight. Man, yeah, that's not my lock of the night, but like. It's right up there.
I'd say, it shouldn't be a lock of the night, because honestly, I would honestly think that's a bit of a cop-out for your lock of the night.
Yeah, because it's just there's just too much.
Minus 575.
Dan Argueta, I don't know if you remember him, he was on Tough Season 29. He was a bantamweight, and he was a small bantamweight. And he's fighting at featherweight against a guy who could fight at lightweight. So, let's I don't... And he's taking this fight on like really short notice too, which is why he's up a weight class. Like this is
not only is Damon Jackson like expected to win, he's expected to win by finishing him.
Don't see
submission finish minus 110 to win by submission.
Yeah, this should be a pretty
easy
one.
Not even the most.
What's his price?
He's 95. Like literally, Aaron Blanchfield is more expensive than him.
Yeah,
crazy.
They're both fair.
Yeah,
I'll say that.
But it's worth talking to in this sense that who like you would think like you just look at the odds, it's like whoa, like that's a crazy favorite there. Like him and Aaron Blanchfield, and then Blanchfield, Damon Jackson, and Movsar Evloev, the three most expensive fighters on this card here, and they're all worth getting to in some form. Yeah, they really are all worth getting to in some way, shape, or form.
So many ways you could build your lineups, honestly, in this one, but depends on how many underdogs you pick, I guess.
And then honestly, I just wanted to touch on this live, because I just brought up the Jeff Molina knockout prop. I like that at plus money there, plus 400. But this one, I'm gonna say the same thing. I just feel like you're still getting it at plus money. It's not obviously Jeff Molina will obviously pay out more. Like should he get that knockout win as opposed to this one, but. Plus money is plus money, and then I just feel like just so much more confident about this one happening as well. I'm talking about Alonzo Menifield, plus 100 to win by knockout against Askar Mazarov, and it's just relatively that simple. Like Mazarov is probably just not obviously you can never like truly accurately predict what's gonna happen in the fight game.
Never know.
But even just leading up to the fight, you never know what could happen and whatnot. But Mozarov is just probably someone that shouldn't be here. In all honesty, Alonzo Menifield just packs he packs a punch. Like he's got some really supreme knockout power, I think.
Very athletic too. He's explosive.
It's just I think with Mazarov, this is a guy that I just don't think he likes to get. He likes to get hit. Like obviously no one likes to get hit, but we've talked about it before. Like some guys they can handle it. They handle it obviously better than others. Like some guys just truly can't handle getting hit hard.
I think it was Devin Clark.
Devin Clark it was. And Mazarov,
I think we were wrong for that fight too. I think it was against William Knight, right? Yeah, I thought William Knight was gonna starch him, but nope.
No. Yeah, and that's what I mean, man. Like you never truly can accurately predict what's actually gonna happen leading up to a fight, and then when the fight actually culminates. But just here, I just Lonzo Menifield, he lands that one significant strike. I just either think he's just gonna start piling it on, or it really just takes that one shot to just put the lights out on Mazarov, and you get Menafield here at a sub 9K price tag. He's not even he's not even one of the 10 most expensive fighters on this card. It's probably gonna, I think, like, I really don't, I highly doubt I'm alone here. Yeah. I think the field is certainly, like, they see this and, like, they're gonna be on it as well. It's just, in terms of at least the knockout prop that you still get at plus money, I think it's just, it's worth throwing, like, however much you want on. And
I would only say he just looks, like, he looks better in some fights than others, but if you don't believe his opponent is, like, of his caliber, then obviously, like, I would agree with that. Yeah, like, knockout for sure, because that's just how he fights. Like, he's so explosive. He's got that one-shot power. Like you said, it's definitely worth noting. Mm-hmm. That's for sure.
And, with that being said, we could just use that to transition to the I'd say the easier part of this little segment here, our lock and underdogs of the night. Starting with the lock, which because once we get an underdog, we actually had a pretty difficult time finding like a genuine underdog.
A lot of tough ones
here. But in terms of lock of the night, I'm just gonna side with it. I'm just gonna ride with the Alonzo Menafield by knockout. That's going to be my lock tonight. I'm going to definitely be pretty heavy on that. In terms, at least, lineups and stuff. I'm definitely going to make sure I got plenty of Alonzo Menafield. And, it's just, it's all about just delivering and executing. So, that's what I'm going to ride with. Rob, what are you feeling?
Like I said to you before the pod, I didn't even have to think about this one for a second. Erin Blanchfield, for sure. I said, you could put her at, I don't care what she's priced at, $1 million, $2 million, like, I know she's only 9.6K, but, like, I'm just trying to exaggerate it here because it's worth exaggerating. Like, I think that she's the real deal. Her grappling in that division is almost unmatched, I think. Like, she's not at that upper echelon yet. She's really young, but JJ Aldrich, I think she's a good fighter, but it's a good matchup for Erin Blanchfield to pretty much do what she's been doing. Take people down, beat them up, try and submit them. I think that she's going to put up a lot of numbers in this one. I think that she's going to land a lot of ground and pound, have a lot of submission attempts. I think this is going to be another great win for Erin Blanchfield, and I just want to see her keep going.
Exactly, man.
Because she's that good. Like, I think she's, 20, 21, 22? It's crazy. I kind of want to see that, actually. I'm going to look that, or I don't know if you want to look it up. You probably get it faster than me.
It might say here on DK, but no, it doesn't. No.
Let's try that Google search. I'm kind of curious. Because, like, she's really young for the UFC. And, like
21 or something.
23. All right, that's still, that's still kind of, like, very young, though. Like, and her grappling is already, like, at an elite level. Yeah, elite level. Not, like, fucking elite prospect. Elite.
Yeah, man.
And her striking's getting there.
It's really cool to see. Like, we obviously, we really hope that she just has, like, she just continues to climb in this division, and she just has a huge, bright future ahead of her. So
still sad that Macy Barber fight didn't happen. Because that would have been a big one for her.
Definitely one that got away. But
yeah, for sure. But I guess to the underdogs of the night, that was a lot harder to pick, I would say, than because there's so many pick'ems, and then there was also like the ones that were heavy favorites, like kind of deserved to be. That was what I was saying before.
It's a really difficult underdog slate for sure, and well, as we talked about the main event in full, obviously, and how many pads that's able to go. Like, obviously in Rozenstruik's case, it really takes that one shot, and then boom, as a plus 135 underdog, like, that's a win right there. But I mean, just in terms of just the most likely outcome and whatnot, that's obviously what you always want to keep in mind when playing DFS or just betting in general. I just really do feel like, especially as a 5-round fight, like the farther it goes, like it's just gonna favor Volkov. Even with the cardio, just dwindling more and more. I just think in terms of volume and whatnot, we obviously know Volkov carries all that volume. Just gonna favor him. So I wanted to say Jairzinho Rozenstruik as the plus.
I was thinking it too, honestly, but I just can't. I don't know. It's a fair one though. I would understand it.
It really, and then I will say the Odi Osborne as a Rook Adashev fight does pique my interest a little bit here. You got Osborne as a -180 favorite, which I do agree with, and then Adashev as the underdog here. But Adashev, like, honestly, I don't like. I feel like could be given more credit than he honestly is. A +330 to win by decision. Osborne is +215. Like, it's really not all that much of a. I think if Osborne wins, it will be by finish, by a knockout. And it's really as simple as that. If Adashev can keep out from that, and obviously, yeah, he's gonna have to be productive. He's gonna have to land, because I don't think he wins, but I don't think he gets a finished victory either. I could see, like, even a split decision victory going in favor of Adashev.
It's fair, because Ode's, like, he's a fun fighter to watch, and in that sense, like, he has a lot of close rounds, because, like, he likes to throw hands at people.
Yeah.
And, it's going to be an interesting one. I think that could definitely happen.
And then just in terms of that, I just think, like, in terms of embracing, like, volatility and whatnot for this card, just obviously, like, yeah, we don't have the best underdogs or whatnot, like, by any stretch of the imagination. Like, even the card in general, like, far from what you would call a stacked card.
Well, see, I actually, like, I did, like, I probably should have said this, like, first too, but, like, it was hard to pick an underdog, but I'm confident in who I picked, because I think that he actually could get it done. I think that Johnny Munoz Jr. versus Tony Gravely, I think that's a fight that is very winnable for Johnny, because he's very good on the ground. He's honestly just good all around.
Oh wait, is Johnny's your under?
That's
Johnny's
my pick. Why did it switch already? Jesus
Johnny's
Christ.
the favorite.
Are you
here.
kidding me? It already switched.
Johnny's the. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. I looked it down. No, Johnny, yeah, he's
okay.
the underdog.
I was like, because I knew it was close. That's why it was so hard to pick.
No, yeah, it's right. Yeah, it's pretty close too. This actually might be, in terms of
he's
odds,
a really good fighter, man.
It looks like this is actually the closest fight on the card,
but he's still a little bit.
Yeah,
plus
he's still
exactly.
He's still plus money. He's still the underdog here. It's not a pick 'em by really, like, it's the closest thing you'll get to a pick 'em on the card, but it's not. And yeah, he is the underdog.
It's just because I couldn't pick anybody else. That's the only one I was
that makes sense for sure. I'm gonna ride with the Adashev here. I'm gonna say, at least I'm gonna go, not necessarily his decision to win by decision at +330, even though I think that is still worth throwing a few a few bucks on. But I did, +155 underdog here against Ode Osborne. Just think Ode Osborne, like, even as simple as Ode Osborne beating himself, that will still result in a victory for Adashev. I just think, Adashev, like, as long as he can avoid, he can keep himself out of that knockout potential and whatnot. Because once again, I don't think he's gonna finish Ode Osborne himself. So, like, as simple as even like a split decision victory, I think is. I could definitely see that happening. And then even in terms of, like, if we're going to talk about DFS price tags for both these guys here, Johnny Munoz and Adashev, you get Adashev for, like, a pretty decent, like, value price. They're only $7,300. I think that's worth a few shares too. And then Munoz is here at $7,800. So really,
both not bad.
Exactly, they're not huge. They're two of the closest underdogs. And these fights in general are two of the closest you're gonna get on this entire card. So it's definitely worth taking a shot on. And
this is a fun one, man. I'm excited for it. Like,
it's got a lot of potential.
We were talking a little bit before, like, saying about how we feel about the every weekend events, but I honestly, like, it wasn't even really because of this specific card. It's just because, like, in general and stuff. But this card in particular, like, I'm honestly, like, excited. Like, I think there's going to be a lot of fun fights, like, good moments.
Yeah, with that being said, there's still a lot of fights. There's still a lot of fights. And then
there's definitely a few that I'm not, like...
every single fight, like, deliver and just be of course, but, you can't expect it from every single one. Like, every fighter is different, every fight's going to be different, and every result is going to be different. So, but yeah, there are plenty of spots here. And then obviously from a betting, like, you can't really complain with it from a betting aspect. Like, you get plenty of fights to choose from and bet on, choose your money on, like, bet your money on. Like, there's it'd be pretty hard to find pretty difficult on the card of this size to not find a fight like you truly feel good about and like just really think you can profit from. And then just speaking from the main event and even the co-main as well, more so the main event. We talked about how many pads and whatnot there are for that, and how many ways that fight could go. But I mean,
I just love fights where I don't know what's gonna happen.
Mozart Bloyev, man. I mean, like I think just that, like simply for him, and then obviously Dan Ige as well. Dan Ige's no slouch, and he's gonna give Evloev a fight, but Evloev is really like truly like something special, dude. So
we sound like UFC marks talking about this one, but honestly, these two fights are pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of it.
Are, so.
I can't wait for this one. I'm intrigued to watch it. But I guess with that, unless there's anything else you want to add.
No, I think we touched on pretty much. Yeah, we gave our picks. We highlighted what really stood out, and once again, that's we're just trying to condense this more as best as we can, at least the fight nights and whatnot. Really give you like what truly stands out, and then what is really worth just gambling on, and what could really just pay out nicely. We're not just giving egregious just really out there calls like a Daniel Argueta to beat Damon Jackson at plus 410, obviously something like that.
If he wins that fight, I won't even know what to say.
Yeah,
honestly.
from we've talked about it before,
speechless.
dart throws and whatnot. There's nothing wrong with a dart throw here and there. This card in particular, it's there's a bunch of fights. There's definitely room to do that. But don't go into it fully expecting it to happen. But that does it for this edition. It should be once again a pretty fun card, especially at the top with the main event and then the co-main as well.
Always love a good heavyweight banger.
Exactly, man. I think volume will be the name of this card. I just think you see a lot of action and blood, honestly. I don't
Just Bleed fans out there. Are probably gonna enjoy this one.
Just Bleed fans out there. I think this is the card for you for sure. So thank you guys once again for watching, and we will see you Monday for the recap.